Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Uriel Hernandez. Welcome to All About Software. In this video we are going to learn how to use date functions and arithmetic with dates working with Oracle SQL. We are going to start by selecting the sysdate from dual. Dual is a dummy table. Okay, here we have, as we can see, the default format is the As we can see, that's our default format. We are going to start by applying some arithmetic between the dates. So sysdate, I'm gonna add one number. As you can see, that's today, and that's our sysdate plus 1. In the same way, we can subtract one day. We can subtract 7 days. Or we can add more days. We can add 1 year. Here we have okay, that's basically the two operations that we can perform with the dates. Now let's select hire date from employees table. Okay, we can also add some days. For example, we are going to add 7 days to the hire date. Now here we have 7 days added to the hire date. Now we are going to subtract the days between the hire date and the sysdate. Hire date. Okay, as you can see, these are the days as days. Now sysdate, we are going to subtract we are going to get the months, and we are going to get the years. Okay. Since this operation returns a number, you can perform other operations. For example, we can apply division. Now we run the script and we have the days, the months, and the years between sysdate and the hire date. Okay. Let's continue working with hire date. Okay, that's hire date, and we are going to get to use months between. We're going to use months between. Months function. Okay. We need to add this date, and then we need to provide the other date, hire date. Okay, that's the final count, because this is not the exact date, because we are applying the division between 30, and not all the months contains 30 days, so that's not correct. That's the correct date months function. As you can see, it's very similar but not the same result. So you need to use this function, months between, these two dates. Okay. So we have choose months months. We're going to erase this one. We have our hire date. And with the number, we are going to tell how many months we want to add. As you can see, right here we have 2 months more. And with a negative number, we can subtract some months. As we can see, here we have 0406 right here. Okay, the next function is next day, so we're going to use next day. Next day. Okay, and with the number we need to provide the day of the week that we need to show. For example, we're going to use this date. For example, today is Monday, and the next Monday it's gonna be 24 if we provide the last day of the week, so it's Sunday, it's gonna be 23. If we provide 5, it's gonna be the next Friday. So here we have, here is how the next day function works. If you are using an older version of the Oracle database, so you probably need to provide this date with text. For example, Friday Okay, the next function it's gonna be last day. Okay, last day, last day. We're going to erase this one. Okay, here we have current sys date and our last date, the last date of January month. Hire date, we're going to select the last date from every hire date in employees table. So as you can see, the last date of the month is selected. Okay, here we have our functions. The next function is gonna be round. We're gonna round hire date. From employees. So we have no effect with the round. We need to provide another parameter so that we can see a difference. For example, this is going up to the next month because it is applying the round on the month side. So if it's greater than 15, that 15 it's gonna show or represent the next month. For example, in this case, it's also greater than 15. In this case, returns to the original month. For example, in this case 01, 01, and in these cases 07 go to the next month and 06 go to the next month. So we can also apply this function with year, so it's gonna be the same. Starting in the half of the year, if the date is greater than the half of the year, the result is gonna be the next year, and if it is lower than the half of the year, the result is gonna be the current year, the first day of the current year. For example, here we have the month is 06, so it's lower than the half of the year, returns the current year. For example, this case the month is 09, it goes to the next year. That's how round function works. And we have our last function, trunk function. Remember, these are not all the date functions, but they are the most used date function. So in this case, trunk works exactly as the round function. Okay, we're going to use in this case sys date. Okay, this function trunks the year to the current year. It doesn't matter if the date is on the last part of the year. For example, we're going to choose hire date. We're going to apply these two functions on the same date, so you can see all the differences. For example, date to month round to year, and we're going to select trunk with mount option. Mount. Okay, now we are ready. Okay, this is the original date. Round, since this day is greater than the half of the month, runs to the next month, and rounds, since this date is lower than the half of the year, it runs to the current year. Trunk, always trunk the date to the current month and the current year. For example, here we have the, let's check the years. And this function is going to return always the current month and the current year. For example, 07, the year is gonna be always the same to the original date. In this case, the year and the month is gonna be always, because you are applying the trunk function. So if you can check it, just the only thing that changes is the date, the day, sorry. The month and the year is always the same. So here we have all the functions that we need to learn to work with dates, and also the arithmetic. So that's all for this video. Remember, leave it a thumbs up, comment the video, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. We will see in the next video.